All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I have to start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And I'm just going to hop right into the lesson, man. I was listening the other day to this, may I use the word buffoon, or this numbskull in the live chat when I was doing a show, yesterday, and he was on there talking about how, you guys can't follow after Christ because Christ is a made up idol, right? Christ isn't real. And second of all, he also taught to disobey the laws of the Old Testament, right? So see, you can't use him as an example because he taught to disobey the Most High's commandments in the Old Testament, right? So you guys can't go by Christ. So I challenged him on it, which of course he didn't really have an answer for it, which I didn't really expect him to begin with. The scriptures tell you that wisdom's too high for a fool. Whereas I wouldn't expect him to know a whole lot. But one way you can cut that is you have to ask them, well, if Christ isn't, the Son of the Most High, right, the Messiah, right, the Son of the Most High, if that's not true, well, why is it that I can read about the coming of Christ in the Old Testament? Isaiah the 7th chapter, Isaiah the 9th chapter, Isaiah 53. Go read them. Isaiah 7, Isaiah 9, Isaiah 53. And if anyone has another one, you can put it in the comment section. But those are free, clear prophecies of Christ coming in the future. And there's even one in the Apocrypha. I don't know if that off the top of the head, but there is a mention of Christ in the Apocrypha. Okay, and someone can put that in the comment section. Okay, so that's 4 references. One in the Apocrypha, and one in the Apocrypha, and 3 in the Old Testament of Christ. Prophecies before he was on the scene. So if you read them, by what logic can we then say that Christ isn't who he said he was, if by going by the prophecies, we can clearly see that he is who he said he was? That don't make no damn sense. Okay, but you ask these guys about it, they don't know. No, they'll just, they'll tell you, well, I don't know what it is, but you're still wrong. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? So I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, you don't even know the answer. What type of stupidity is that? If you don't know something, how the hell can you come on and tell someone else that they don't know what they're talking about if they ask you what the answer is, and then you don't even know by your own admission? Ridiculous. And then he said that Christ taught to disobey the laws in the Old Testament. So I asked him if he could give me an example of why that's true, where he's getting that from, so I can use that, to form an argument, right? Because if he's just going to make a statement, I don't know, what he's trying to build that argument on. Where exactly did Christ teach to disobey the Old Testament laws? I ask him for an example. He can't give an example. It's like, okay, so if I don't have an example to go off of, well, then how the hell can I form a response, whether that be with it or against it, if I don't even have your standpoint of where you're getting that statement from? That don't make no logical sense. But anyway, I know a couple that I've seen people use over the years, to try to, make that argument. And I'll give an example. Such as, if you go to, what is that, John the 8th chapter, right, dealing with the woman who was taken in adultery, right? They'll, use that to say, oh, well, see, Christ broke the commandments in the Old Testament, because in the Old Testament, it says if a woman, lays with another man, that's not her husband, it says that she's supposed to be, stoned to death for doing so. And that is true. That is what the law says, that if a woman lays with another man that's not her husband, then she's supposed to be put to death for doing that. That's in the law. It does say that. But in John 8, the woman that was taken in adultery, Christ let her go. So they'll say that, well, see, Well, Christ disobeyed the laws in the Old Testament. Now, how do you respond to that? I'll tell you how you respond to that. For one, by reading the context, she did sin, right? She did break the commandments. But guess what Christ told her? He told her, go and sin no more. So Christ decided to show her mercy and forgiveness this one time, but he told her to go and don't do it again. And that's, I mean, hell, we just knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone, because first of all, what is sin according to the scriptures? 1 John 3 and 4, for sin is the transgression of the law. So if Christ told her to not go ahead and sin anymore, well, then he told her to keep the laws then. What laws? The laws of the Old Testament. So, I mean, that's a spiritual KO there if I've ever seen one for myself. That's an absolute spiritual KO. Someone called it Ambalam, because that brother just got laid out. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, is if you go to, what is that? If you go to Romans 9 and verse 15, it says, the Lord will have compassion to who he decides to have compassion, and he will show mercy to who he decides to show mercy. Okay, so the Lord can decide to show somebody mercy if he wants to, or he can decide to not do so. It depends on what he wants. Okay, so with the woman in John 8, he didn't have to show her mercy. He could have had them put her ass to death right there on the scene, because she did disobey the law. She did disobey the law, so that's punishable by death. But guess what? The Most High, allowed, an example to be given, by her. Okay? So they used it, that example. Christ told her, hey, I'll forgive you this time, but go and sin no more. He told her, go and don't do this again. Let me grab a drink real quick. Right, so that's self-explanatory right there. Okay, so he told the woman, don't do this again. That's what he told the woman. So guess what? Next time they find her doing that, man, that's going to be her ass there, man. Next time they find her committing adultery, she's going to get stoned. And that's not what I'm saying. That's what the law says. That's what the scriptures say. Okay, so that one time they showed her compassion and forgiveness. But next time it happens, you're going to, she's going to have to pay for that, man. Okay, so, they can't use that as an example of how Christ broke the Old Testament laws, because, wait a second, bear with me for a second, because, it tells you, as I clearly quoted, Romans 9:15, where the Lord will show mercy to who he decides to show mercy, and the Lord will have compassion to who he decides to have compassion to. What about this example? The Lord didn't even bring it up to Moses when he killed the Egyptian that was smiting a Hebrew servant in Egypt. So what did Moses do? He killed the Egyptian and he hid him in the sand. The Lord didn't bring that up to him. I thought the scripture saying in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. Then he got this dumbass on there, which, don't get me wrong, I like this guy. I think he's very respectable, but I had to call him out on this because he made a utterly retarded, statement. So I shouldn't call him, I shouldn't call him names, so excuse me. Well, I'll call him, he just don't know what's going on. There was a guy out there, which I won't mention his name. He knows who he is if he's listening. Which, again, I like the brother, right? So no offense. But he made a statement and said that on one of our live streams, they brought us something along the lines of, the laws where they teach, that you're supposed to, put certain people to death for committing, certain actions, such as, I'll give an example. It tells you in Leviticus 20, I believe, what is it, verse 15, it tells you that if a woman lies with a beast, that thou art supposed to kill the woman and the beast. Right? If a woman tries to approach and lay with an animal, you're supposed to kill the woman and the animal. But this knucklehead said, well, thou shalt not kill. So I asked him, wait a second, do you agree with the text that says that thou shalt kill the woman and the animal? And that's a commandment of the Most High. And then he just responds and says, oh, but thou shalt not kill. It's like, no. We're not, cut the semantics, right? Cut the semantics. We're not playing games like that, right? First of all, the commandment was thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill. They misinterpreted it. So that's why everyone understands it wrong, because there's plenty of places in the scriptures where the Lord commands people to kill. And there's certainly many places where men of the Lord have killed. So did they break the 10 Commandments? And the answer is no, because there's a difference between killing somebody just for fun and taking someone's life for a crime that they have committed. Okay, let me give an example. The scriptures say if a man lies in wait, to kill his neighbor, and he actually does it, well, guess what? That man's supposed to get killed for taking another man's, wife. Another man's life, slip of the tongue. But that's what it says. So you can't sit there and say, oh, well, thou shalt not kill. It's like, well, wait a second, but the text literally tells you that you're supposed to do this to somebody who commits that action. So, I mean, he's just, got to be smoking some good stuff, man. He must have stopped by, Pop's house and got himself a smoke or something, man. It's, the hell is that guy smoking? You know what I'm saying? It's a damn joke, dealing with some of these guys out here, man. The guys don't know what the hell's going on, especially when dealing with the scriptures. So that's just, it's a damn joke, man. And it's truly sad that this is what we're dealing with out here. But that's just what it is, man. It just shows you, it bears testament, to the time that we're in. It really does bear, testament to the times that we're living in, man. Okay, that people are waxing worse and worse, especially with their doctrinal, breakdowns of the scriptures, right? They're all just waxing worse and worse. And it's going to get worse from here on out, man. I mean, hell, you had, what are these guys? The Tried and Refined. We asked them about, what is that, Revelation 9 and 16, right? The 200,000 army. They told me that's talking about the elect. The hell are these guys talking about? That's talking about the elect. That's obviously talking about nuclear weapons, man. Hell are these guys talking about? But as I said, man, this just shows you the time that we're in. Okay, the scriptures tell you that in the last times, you're going to have many deceivers who arise. That would be teaching heresies, man. And that's exactly what you got going on right now, right? Everybody's on, on here, teaching something. And a lot of guys don't know what the hell's going on. And it's sad because a lot of guys who are supposedly teaching the Bible, you ask them certain things about the scriptures and they don't know. I'll give an example. Ask a Christian where hell is. They don't know. Ask a Christian who, let's see. Ask a Christian about reincarnation. They don't know. Ask a Christian about, John the Baptist, right? Was John the Baptist, actually Elijah? And I guarantee you they'll tell you, well, majority of them, they'll say that he wasn't. Okay? That's just going to be the, I'll call the video there with that. I don't want to go too far off topic. But I hope that video was edifying. If anybody made it to the end of the video, go ahead and put hashtag Wikipedia in the comment section down below. And I'm going to say shalom.